So welcome to all. Now we are going to see buck boost converter. In previous classes we have already discussed what is buck converter and what is boost converter. Now we are going to see buck boost converter. The term buck converter is nothing but a step down converter, right? Whereas the boost converter is nothing but a step up converter, right? That is nothing but when you compare its output voltage, that's output voltage will be very high when compared to the input voltage, whereas in the buck converter the output voltage will be very less when compared to the input voltage. Here this buck boost converter, it can be act as either both either a step up converter or step down converter. This again is a type of a DC to DC converter, whereas the output voltage can be either greater or lesser than the input voltage. This is the basic circuit of an buck boost converter, whereas there is an input voltage, there is a switch. The switch can be either a transistor or a MOSFET, where there is an inductor and there is a diode. Again, there is an output, there is a capacitor, act as a filter, then there is a load at resistive load. Here when the we already know that the charging property of the inductor, right? The charging property of inductor is nothing but it charges the voltages in the form of the magnetic field, right? When it charges the voltages in the form of the magnetic field, here it will then it will possess some noises in it, right? That noise or that can be filtered with the help of the capacitor. That is, the capacitor converts the voltage into its purest form. Here we are going to see two cases, that is two modes of operation. That first mode denotes that when the switch is closed, that is when switch is on, and then in second case when there is a switch is an open circuit, right? So when we consider this first mode, when the switch is closed, right? See this, when the switch is closed, right? When the switch is closed, the diode becomes reverse biased. We already know that when a diode is connected in a reverse biased, then it does not conduct any current, right? Therefore, no current flows to the output load. When the switch is closed, then the entire input voltage will be given to this inductor, right? Therefore, the inductor gets charges. See, when the switch is turned on, the inductor charges like this. See, the charges gradually. When the switch is turned off, that is when the circuit becomes open loop, then the inductor discharges. For the once a complete cycle, the inductor charges like this, then again the inductor discharges like this. Then this process will be again repeated for remaining cycles. Then again when the switch is turned on, the inductor charges. Then again when the switch is turned off, then again the inductor discharges. This D is nothing but the duty cycle. Duty cycle is given by T on divided by T. See, when the output voltage, whatever the input voltage given, will be stored in the form of magnetic field in the inductor. In the second mode of operation, now the switch is turned off. That is that when the switch is turned like this, when the circuit will becomes an open loop, right? When the open loop, now the inductor stored whatever the voltage is stored in this inductor discharges through this loop, right? When this discharges through this loop, now the diode becomes forward biased. That is, in mode 1 operation, the diode will be in reverse bias. That is, the diode does not conduct any current. Whereas in mode 2 operation, the diode becomes forward biased and the diode will conduct the current. Hence, the current will flow through VL again to this capacitor, then again to this diode. Therefore, whatever the voltages which are present in this inductor will be purified here. Thus, this capacitor acts as a filter. Thus, whatever the voltages going through this diode will be in a pure DC voltage. Now, output voltage will be equal to the inductor voltage. That is, V0 will be equal to VL. When we compare these two voltages, that is mode 1 and this mode 2, we will get the output voltage as V naught is equal to minus Vn into d divided by 1 minus d, where d is nothing but the duty cycle. Thank you.